So students, we have seen in the previous lecture the different methods by which electrical energy can be generated. We have electricity generation using non-renewable resources, and you have electric energy being generated by using renewable resources. Students, all of you are aware what is the meaning of non-renewable resources and what is the meaning of renewable resources. Now, non-renewable resources are those resources like fossil fuels, coal, wood, natural gas, which are in limited supply and which once used cannot be generated in a short period of time. Whereas renewable energy sources are those energy sources like solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy. These sources of energy once used can be regenerated or replenished again within a short period of time. So we in this chapter would be studying about three methods of generating electric energy using both three methods of energy generation by using the non-renewable resources and three methods of electricity generation by using the renewable resources. Now students, before we go on to see the process by which electricity is generated using these renewable and non-renewable sources, we need to understand the detailed working and the scientific principle on which most of these power generators or generating systems work. See, now in most of the processes where electricity generation takes place, the principle or the scientific principle on which these power plants are based is electromagnetic induction. Right? Now we need to understand what is electromagnetic induction and how is electrical energy generated by that process, because the generator in these power plants forms a very important part of the process. So we need, in order to understand the process of electricity generation, we need to understand the principle on which these generators work. So let us have a look at what is this electromagnetic induction and how it results in production of electric energy in most of the power plants that we are going to study. Whether we are going to look at a thermal energy power plant or wind energy power plant or a nuclear energy power plant or even a gas energy power plant, we need to understand the working of a generator, how a generator is run by a turbine to produce electrical energy. So let's have a look at that, students, right now. So students, in most of the power plants, the process of generating electricity is followed in these steps. So first and foremost, students, what is required is you require an energy source. So the energy source could be, like in a thermal power plant, it is coal. In a hydroelectricity power plant, it is the water falling from the dams. So you require an energy source to drive a turbine. This turbine then runs the generator by the process that we are going to study right now, and this generator then generates the electric energy required. So what is important for us to understand the connection and working, how the turbine operates the generator. So here what you are seeing below is a turbine. I have drawn the blades of a turbine. This turbine is connected, can you see over here? This is a shaft, an axle, right, on which there is a magnet mounted. So the generator begins here after this. This is the internal heart of the generator, right? The magnet and the coil, they are the parts of the generator. Can you see over here? Now students, so you have the turbine connected to a shaft on which inside the generator a very powerful magnet is mounted. Now near this magnet you will have a coil which is kept, in which electricity is to be produced or induced. Now what happened, all of you students know that every magnet has their own magnetic field in which there are magnetic lines of force. Now we are going to study the principle of electromagnetic induction. Now electromagnetic induction is a principle by which a changing magnetic field of a magnet can induce or produce current in a coil. So this is the exact process what is happening over here, right? So when an energy source rotates the turbine, right, once the turbine rotates, the shaft also rotates, thereby it will start rotating the magnet. The magnet will start rotating. When the magnet rotates, its magnetic lines of force and magnetic field keeps on changing in the region near the coil. And this changing magnetic field of this magnet induces current or creates a potential difference between the ends of this coil. All of you know, once a potential difference is created between the ends of a conductor, it results in the flow of electric current. So the moment a potential difference is generated across this coil due to the changing magnetic field of this rotating magnet, current gets generated in the coil. Students, I repeat the process once again for you. What happens in most of the electric generation power plants, most of them are based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction can take place by two processes. Either you rotate a magnet near a coil, or you rotate a coil near the magnet. In most generators use the first step, they rotate a magnet in order to change its magnetic field. A magnet is rotated near a coil within the generator. Now the process followed, as I told you, is first you require an energy source to drive a turbine. The turbine drives the generator by rotating the magnet near a coil, and this generator then produces electricity. Now what happens is, when a source of energy falls on the turbine or rotates the turbine starts rotating, thereby the shaft which is connected to the generator starts rotating. When the shaft connected to the generator rotates, the magnet on which the magnet is mounted on the shaft, the magnet starts rotating, and because of the rotation of the magnet, there is a changing magnetic field created in a region around this coil. So the changing magnetic field induces or produces an electric current in this coil, and thus the electric current or electricity generated in this generator, that is this part, is then supplied to wherever it is required. So now students, having understood this, we will now go on to understand for today how a thermal power plant generates electricity. Basically, in most of the power plants, the system up to here is the same. So this system is followed in most of the power plants that we are going to study. So let us have a look at how electric current is generated in a thermal power plant using these processes. Now students, so we start with the working of a thermal power plant. Let us understand how the thermal power plant generates electricity. We just learned the working of the turbine and the generator. So now all of you have understood how electric current is generated in this generator with the help of the rotating turbine. So now you require something to drive the turbine. That is been well understood by you. So let us understand this working of a thermal power plant. So let us look at the different parts of this power plant, the main parts. Now the first part here that you are seeing is a boiler. Now the boiler basically contains fuel. In this case the fuel is going to be coal, that's the fossil fuel, and there's an air chamber. The air chamber is there to supply air so that complete combustion of coal takes place within this boiler. So inside this boiler you have the fuel along with air to enable the complete combustion of the fuel. Then you have water which is there. Then you have the turbine. So whatever steam gets generated from the boiler is directed onto the turbine, right? After the steam drives the turbine, the steam falls into the condenser which takes it to the cooling tower. But once the turbine starts rotating with the help of the steam, the turbine rotates the generator through the shaft, and the magnet connected on the shaft starts rotating near a coil, thereby producing electric current. Now here what you are seeing is a cooling tower. So whatever steam is collected by the condenser after it drives the turbine, that steam goes into the cooling tower where the condenser supplies the steam to the cooling tower. In the cooling tower there is a lot of water, so the heat in the steam, what happens is absorbed by the water in this cooling tower, right? And whatever heat is absorbed, that heat is given out in the form of water vapor over here and heat energy from the top of the cooling tower. And on this side you have another tower like structure. This is basically connected to the boiler. Combustion of coal leads to emission of gases, toxic gases, especially carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. So these need to be released at a high height in the atmosphere. So this boiler is connected to the chimney, and whatever toxic gases are released during the process of combustion of fuel in the boiler, the toxic gases find its way into this tower and is released in the atmosphere. They call this as a stack. So here you can see. Now let us first understand the process step by step, right? So what happens is that with the help of thermal energy generated due to combustion of coal in this boiler. So when the coal is ignited in this boiler, in the presence of air it burns, releasing a lot of heat or thermal energy. The heat or thermal energy liberated is used to heat the water. The water gets heated to a high temperature, thereby getting converted into the steam. Now the steam at a high pressure and high temperature is directed onto this turbine, right? The steam is directed onto this turbine, thereby this turbine starts rotating. When this turbine rotates, the shaft connected to the generator, in which there is a magnet mounted near a coil, that magnet starts rotating in the region around the coil, and the changing magnetic field of the magnet induces a current in the coil, which we saw just now, and that current is then supplied. Now once the steam drives the turbine, the steam's temperature and pressure decreases. It is then collected by the condenser. The condenser takes this hot steam into the cooling tower, where the water absorbs the heat from the steam and reconverts it back into water. So the steam in the condenser gets reconverted into water. The water then is pulled in by a pump which pushes it back into the boiler, and it is recirculated. Again that water is heated and the process repeats itself. So the water that is cooled in the cooler. That means the steam gets condensed into water, and that water is recirculated into the boiler with the help of a pump, pushes this water back, and then the process begins again and again. Now whatever heat is absorbed by the water in this cooling tower, that heat is given out into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor and hot air, right? And here whatever poisonous gases are emitted due to combustion of coal over here, those poisonous gases are directed into a chimney, or they find their way into a chimney and released at a very high altitude in order to avoid harmful effects. So they are released at a high altitude through this chimney. So students, this is how a thermal power plant generates electric current. Now each power plant has its own advantages and disadvantages. You could have understood right now, since it is using the fossil fuel coal, okay, poisonous or toxic gases are released, which will definitely have a harmful effect on environment and also on human health. So we will now move on to study what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of generating electricity using a thermal power plant. So students, although the power generation or electricity generation by thermal power plants contributes to a major amount of electricity generated in the country, what I mean to say is that around 50 or more than 50% of the electricity generated in our country is through thermal power plants. So most of the electricity generation takes place through these thermal power plants. Although they give us so much of electricity that we require, but there are some problems associated with these thermal power plants. The major problem is the release of harmful gases during the combustion of fossil fuels like coal. In this case, it's coal. So the combustion of coal results in the release of toxic gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur oxide, and nitrogen oxide, which pollute the environment and they are harmful to human health. Besides that, all of you know that this thermal power plant is using as a fuel coal, and coal is a fossil fuel which is a non-renewable resource. Its reserves in nature are limited. So if we keep on exploiting the coal reserves in our country, ultimately there will be diminishing very fast. There will be fast depletion of these coal reserves, and there will be very limited supply left for the future generation. So these are some of the problems associated with electricity generation in thermal power plants. Thermal power plants are basically they're set up in many parts of the country where you have a lot of coal reserves. Like for example, Chandrapur near Nagpur, there are a lot of coal mines over there. So setting up power generation plants based on thermal energy is feasible near those places. So you have thermal power plants in Chandrapur and some other parts of the country which generate electric energy, thereby fulfilling major requirement of electricity generation within our country. So students, I hope this lecture has given you a very clear understanding of how power plants or electric power plants really function, how they generate electricity. You have learnt the basic process. As I mentioned, that most of the power plants use the principle of electromagnetic induction, and electromagnetic induction, how it takes place, we have understood. The turbine driving the generator with the help of a source of energy and thereby producing electricity. So thank you, students. In the next lecture, we will be taking up electricity generation with the help of nuclear energy. So the process steps are same, raw material being different, the design of such plants are different. So till then, students, take care, stay safe and study regularly. Thank you and bye-bye.